Okay, roller booters. We have a very special guest today, faction team rider, and he's on the Wish team, and one of my good buddies from a long time ago, actually, Eric Michael. Dude, thanks for
What's
coming
up,
on.
Ben? Thanks for having me, man. This is
And,
really exciting.
dude, I love it. You got the birds chirping and the sun. How's the? I mean, the weather looks perfect. How does it feel?
It is quite a beautiful day. Absolutely blue sky.
It looks
Um,
gorgeous.
I haven't skated yet. I just kind of got here,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's a
I was gonna
gorgeous
say you
day.
just.
I'm
So you're
here
at Schmitty's right
at
there.
Schmitty's.
You just got back from the Vermont blading camp, right?
Yes, I did.
Was that
That
what it's
was
called, blading camp? How did that
it's
go?
Vermont blading camp.
Yeah, blading camp.
It was really good. It was really good vibes. There was like 3 times as many people as they were initially expecting.
Oh, good. It's a nice
Yeah,
surprise.
so the parks were packed. There's some
Yeah.
really good skaters out there, so I feel like everyone had a good time that showed up.
Dude.
Luckily,
Yeah.
we all got out there like the day before things went crazy. I don't know if you've seen what's going on in Vermont, but holy
Oh my
cow.
God, yeah, the flooding, right?
Yeah, man, it's insane the timing of it all. Like the last park we skated is like gone now. It got washed away. So
Like
just
literally.
yeah, like literally got washed away. So it's just like this godsend of of timing with
Yeah.
that. But yeah, it was an amazing time. And I hope everyone's okay, like from all that.
Yeah, no doubt. I'm glad you guys didn't get tangled up in that.
Yeah.
No, it looked like fun, man. So part of this, I wanted you to. Well, I did want to mention too, actually. Just I found where is it at? Right here. So we're both buddies with Mike McCarthy, Mike McFly,
Of course,
from way back in the day.
Very good buddies.
Yeah, but he has this on his YouTube channel, 2007 blading band Mike, my brother Ben and Bill, me and my brother, and then and of course you.
Is that at 688? Yeah,
It is, dude.
I've seen
Yeah.
this one.
So yeah, for
The
those that
good
don't
old
know,
days.
we skated together a couple times way back in the day. I guess way back in the day is pretty subjective or whatever, but
20
688
years or
Tampa.
so, getting close.
Yeah,
15.
Tampa, right? My memory's foggy.
Yeah, well, this is Clearwater.
Clearwater.
This was my home park. I used to skate here 5 days a week as a kid after school. This was like my second home. It's gone now, but man, what a
Yeah.
park.
Mike was saying, did you used to work here or no?
I did. I worked there for about a year and a half. Really good times. Worked the
Yeah.
lock-ins. It's a great job to have as a young teen.
I bet, dude. I have kind of a, I don't know, I guess a question. So, like, do you feel like working there at the skate park, like, just fast tracked your skills, or was it like inconsequential?
No, not at all. I'd say it's inconsequential.
Yeah.
Usually while I was working there, I would only get like a 30-minute break to go skate.
I got you.
Otherwise, I would just kind of ride a skateboard while I was working.
Oh, really?
But it'd still get me out there. Yeah, just to go from one one part of the park to the other. But
yeah, that's dope.
no, I pretty much lived there for years before, so that's how I got the job, is they knew me so well.
Right.
But I used to just go there and solo session that place like every day.
Yeah, man. No, that's sick. And you've been killing it for so long, and that's kind of what I wanted to talk about, dude.
You're pulling out the old ones, huh?
I'm pulling up the old ones, dude. So I want to go back to just to let some B-roll go in here. This is actually from B-Mag, back 12 years ago. I don't know when, but up and comers, Eric Michael. So this is part of in line. I'm the first like on the video. But you're welcome. I got that for you. But no, I did kind of want to go back to the beginning and hear how you got into the sport and how your journey through it.
Totally. Yeah, I guess I'll go while this is playing. I got into the sport. I had some friends that skateboarded, and for some reason I just never really caught on to that. I forget if it was before I started skating or like immediately after, but I remember seeing Jason Sinsman doing like the double backflip for Guinness on TV one day, and that just like inspired me, because I've always been a flipper. I started off with gymnastics, I did diving later on, I think after skating. So I've just always been doing acrobatic type of stuff. And my mind was just absolutely blown when I saw the double backflip. So yeah, I got into it pretty heavy. My buddy had like I said, they had skateboards, but they had a neighbor who had blades. So I got to try those out. I don't even remember what they were.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just started launching off kickers and stuff, and I just absolutely fell in love. So asked my parents for skates, and I got Salomon's ST90s that Christmas, and just started going hard at that skate park you showed.
I'm so bad with the Solomon lore. Which one do those look like?
Those were the brownish ones, so not like the cream color, but like they were like kind of the later models.
Okay.
Yeah, they're good skates. I had no idea what skates were at that time.
Yeah, I got you. Sorry, I was going to try to pull them up. They were like, you say they were like the brownish color, the later.
Yeah, the brownish.
It's weird, man, because there's like ST90 black ones, and there's ST this, and I that's why I can never remember too. There's so many.
Definitely. I'm not a Salomon expert, but they were pretty awesome boots.
Yeah, but, we both skated those. Yeah.
Yeah, but I just fell in love with this sport. Like I said, I used to skate like alone every day, probably for like a good 5 years. I feel like before I met my first good blading homie, Blake Kelly.
Yeah.
And then, you remember him? Yeah. He's so good. He could still go pro if he wanted to.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But so I met him and we started skating all the time. He had a car and everything. But yeah, I just always loved the sport. Competitions kind of kept me going. I'd go to comps and then come home and just feel reinvigorated to learn things. And I just always had this mindset where every time I went to the park, I was trying to kind of push myself and learn new things. And yeah, I just really fell in love with the sport. And my dad's always been in it too, my whole life. So that's helped out a lot. He'd come to the skate park after work, and he had like a couch pillow at one time. He was like throwing under me when I was practicing flips.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
Just had that great parent son relationship.
Dude, that's super rad. And I feel like it's hard to, well, it just seems like it would be hard if he wasn't so supportive. And you don't see, it's like, my parents were like, yeah, cool, go out, go crazy. And like, my mom was super supportive. She drove us to Kona and supported and everything. And I'm not saying she wasn't, but like, dude, like throwing out the pillows, like going to most of your events. Like, I mean, that's a huge amount of support, and that's amazing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It helps so much. Of course, getting to events, like I never would have been the skater I am today without that support. So that was everything. But I don't know. I've just kind of stuck with it. It's something I fell in love with.
Yeah, dude, you
that backslide. I remember that trick. That was scary.
Let's talk about it. This is pretty wild.
Yeah, I saw this roof. It had kind of, I don't know what the terminology is, but it had a little groove you can grind on, and so I just stood up there. I remember John Fromm was there that day. We were all just filming in Tallahassee, Florida, and I think I got this third try or so. Fell off the roof a couple times, but it was a lot scarier in person, as everything usually is.
As literally everything. How this looks like a good drop too. This angle doesn't do it justice. You can tell this is a healthy drop, huh?
Did I grab that too?
Oh, out there?
I don't know. Damn.
You did grab the backslide, yeah.
I used to grab my backslides. I gotta get that back.
I think there was a point where I did too, but not anymore, bro. No, that is wild, dude. That's wild. Yeah, sick, dude. I was gonna say something about the true fit. Oh yeah, dude, I went right to it. It was meant to be. Damn. I was gonna say grabbed perfect true fish on Blue School in Tallahassee, Florida, dude.
You like that? Yeah.
You just sent it like a boss too, bro.
Wow. Bah! Landed out of the lava.
Oh, it's beautiful. Beautiful.
Good stuff. Yep.
Dude, yeah, we actually skated Blue School. I got the first time I'm from Florida. I've skated in Tallahassee quite a few times, but I never got to skate Blue School for whatever freaking reason. Everyone else but me. But we finally went back. Mike and I went back like last year. but it's like so gated up and stuff. It's like hard to make it work. So, but we did. But those rails are amazing.
They're so good. I haven't been there in over 10 years, but I remember it was always free to skate. Like nobody was ever there.
Yeah.
What a great rail.
Yeah, I wish I was around. I wish I was around for those. Those are beautiful rails. Dude, so you were, what can I type in actually? Because you were filming in on the lore with you and RB.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and also, what can I type in to find you like skating RBs?
I mean, I'm pretty sure I was skating RBs in that last set.
Oh, were you on the up and comers on this guy?
Yeah,
okay.
On the up and comers.
Okay, got it.
Mine might look a little crazy because I used to toe cut the fuck out of my skates.
Oh, I got you. Because you got them big feet, dog.
Liners were just popping out. Yeah, I was known for that for a while, but
yeah. So, dude, let's talk about RB. What was it? Okay. How was your experience? How did that work? How did it get started?
It was a Super Hick 2005, I believe.
Good old days.
I did a big old stall backflip, and I did a backflip sole, which I didn't land, but everyone thought I landed it. But anyways, one of those things, you're close enough. Yeah. But it was enough to impress. I forget who the RB guy was. It wasn't Tom Heiser at that time, but he came up to me after the comp and asked me if I wanted to ride for them because I was I was already skating some TRS skates. So yeah, he put me on the team, and that was really exciting. And I was on RB pretty passively. I wasn't like one of the main guys or anything, but I was on it for a good 7 or 8 years or so.
What skates were you mostly the solos, or what skates were you mostly on?
Mostly the solos. I always preferred the old ones. I started with the Access and the Details, and I just absolutely love those skates. The solos were kind of tough for me. I could never find one that like fit my foot quite properly. I have my big toes are like half an inch longer than any of my other toes, so it's just like either my toe fits or the rest of my foot fits. It's one or the other. So
that hence the crazy toe cuts you were saying, or whatever.
Yeah, hence the crazy toe cuts. I had to do what I had to do. I also wanted to fit into like a size 10 and a half. I'm a full 11 and a half. There's no getting around that anymore. Right. I stopped trying to do that. Yeah. But yeah, I really enjoyed my time with RB. They treated me well. They sent me skates whenever I asked, kind of thing.
Sick.
Yeah, good times.
Cool. Yeah, no, I just wanted to cover those bases. Cool. And so, dude, we're just gonna jump to it because I haven't talked to you about it yet, and I just can't wait anymore. I'm being selfish here. We have to talk about this, broski.
Okay. I can
the dragon rail. Oh, is it over there? Is it still up?
It's not there anymore. No,
it's not.
I just got back yesterday, so this is my first time at the ramp since. I thought it was still there, but it looks like he finally chopped that down.
Yeah, probably for the best.
Yeah.
Okay, dude, talk to us about the battle. You were the first one that got it. One of the only ones that ever got it, right? One of two?
Yeah, one of two. Yep, me and Fromling.
Yeah, Mike. Dude, talk about the battle here. This looks terrifying.
Well, for one, so Tim's original idea was to have that curve, and then it was going to go out to the flat, and it's like that's all I thought. And then I came back the next morning, and Tim had this whole contraption going, and it was just like, oh god. And you really have to like see it in person to see how insane that first kink is. After like that's like a 8-foot high quarter, and it goes straight into that kink, and the kink just whoop. So it looks so
burly.
It's burly. That probably took me over 10 tries, probably like 12 tries or so. Yeah. Didn't get hurt, but I definitely got thrown off the rail like 4 times. Got a little bloody and dirty, but yeah, it's one of the wildest things I've ever ridden.
Yeah, dude. So it's this kink right here, because that's when I was really trying to dissect this from afar.
Yeah.
We were watching this on live stream and everything. But is it this little kink right? This first speed bump right here, yeah?
Yeah. It really doesn't look bad when you look at it like in the video. It's crazy how videos do that. But I swear it's like twice as steep in person, and you're just like, oh my god, dude, I'm gonna run right into that, just rack myself in the worst way.
Right, dude. This thing is, I remember the first time I saw this, I'm like, are you, because I know how tall these ramps are. The first time we kind of were reunited was at ramping camp before this one. But like, people don't realize how big these ramps are until you get there. And then to have a rail just come right off the side to where, like, I mean, if you like mess up, you're just hung out to dry, dude.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. There was nothing safe about this, and when I saw it, I was kind of like, "What are you doing, Tim?"
Right, dude.
Like, who's gonna be ballsy enough to do this? So here's the drop. I don't know if you can see it too. I'm trying to look. So here's the new ramp he built. So this is higher than the ramp itself. The ramp's like 6 feet.
Oh yeah, the extension.
And so this extension is new, and it's like 7.5 or so. And then it just went straight off the edge. It's a good like 10-foot drop, just into gravel. And then it went all the way over there. So it was sketchy. Everything about it was very sketchy.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where it's like, I had to do it. I had to be the first to do it.
Yeah, I mean, it's your stomping grounds. You're there at Schmitty's in, oh my God, I forget where it is in Indiana. What is it called?
West Lafayette,
Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
Home of ramping camp with Tim Schmidt.
That's right.
So yeah, it's your stomping grounds. You gotta be the first to do it.
Yep. It was a battle.
Dude, yeah, it looked like one. It certainly looked like one. So speaking of Schmitty's, how long have you because you live right by Schmitty's, right?
Yeah, I live probably like 4 blocks away or so. Tim's family owns like a trailer home, mobile home park, and so I got one of his old trailers and fixed it up, and I've been living there for 2 years now. Actually living there. But other than that, I was in and out of living here between here and Florida for another couple of years. So it's been a good like 4 or 5 years that I've been really frequenting this place. Yeah. So it is a second home to me.
Yeah, it certainly seems like it. And you definitely skate the ramp like it's an extension of your body, dude. It's insane.
It is. It's bad. It's bad sometimes because it is so perfect, and the coping here is like so good. And every time I go somewhere else, I'm just like, I forgot how to grind.
You just feel a little bit spoiled. That's funny.
Yeah, no, I'm very spoiled here. Yeah, there's no doubt about that.
Yeah, that ramp is absolutely beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
So bringing it back to Winter Clash. I'm sorry, Bitter Cold. Dude, so your 2 tricks here. The Misty over the handrail, right? From bowl to flat.
Yeah.
And then the fronty topsole. Hey, Tim in the house. What's going on?
Tim in the house. This is the man.
Yo.
His blood, sweat, and tears.
The man behind all that. I love it.
Come back and visit sometime.
Tim, that's the plan. I will be there next year for sure. So
he says he'll be there next year.
Yeah, heck yeah. Dude, I love it.
Indiana,
let's get it. Ramping Camp 2024.
Everybody, come through.
Dude, so let's talk about I guess the Misty over the rail first.
Okay. That was the first of the 2 tricks.
Right.
I did that. I think those were the only 2 tricks I landed that night.
Mm-hmm.
In the bowl comp, because at first I was kind of trying to get in there. I'm a very I'm not an aggressive skater, and I have a really hard time in those kinds of things where they're just like, all right, everyone go. And then there's like 20 people that are just like fighting to get in the bowl, and I'm just kind of sitting on the sidelines.
Sorry, dude, you threw me. I'm sorry, you threw me for a little bit of a loop for a second because I was looking at your picture and you're like, I'm not much of an aggressive skater. I'm like, hold on, bro. I'm like doing math. I'm like the meme doing math and stuff. Like,
yeah.
No, I see what you do. I'm the same way. I hate like feeling like I'm getting in anyone's way or like snaking people or like fighting to get a turn. I don't like that.
Yeah, I'm not trying to fight anybody. But I do love to do big tricks, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Kevin. That's very nice of you. Yeah. So anyway, so I kind of hung out during the bowl jam for a good like hour or so while everyone was just going crazy, and I had kind of given up. And both of these tricks, I was kind of like, I could kind of do them, but I'm not really feeling it. So it like they kind of took like encouragement from friends, where I like went up to my friends and I was like, I'm thinking of doing this, and they're like, well, fucking do it. And so that so I tried it. But let's see, the Misty flip was Austin Loomis was doing 180s, and he tried a good number of them, and I really wanted to Misty, but like I also wanted him to land his trick first. I didn't want to just like jump in.
Yeah.
But eventually I went up to him and I got his grace, his seal of approval.
Right.
And so he said it would be awesome if I Mistied it. And I think it took me 2 or 3 tries. It was really fucked up because like my sole plates, I had 3D printed sole plates at the time, and they were like broken, like literally like all down the frame. They were just snapped, so that super loose. That definitely didn't help.
Yeah.
But yeah, I landed the Misty solid. I could pretty much Misty anything at this point. I feel
it's like if you can jump it, you can Misty it, kind of thing.
Yeah, or I mean, I could Misty it before I jump it, honestly. Like Misties are just like, yeah, because you just like throw yourself forward. You don't have to go over the rail. You can kind of like just skim it.
Yeah.
I love a good Misty. Never get tired of them, but I try not to overdo them because I do a lot of them.
Well, you make them look super clean. It's crazy how natural. Honestly, like Kevin was saying here, man, and like I was poking through a lot of your older footage last night just to sort of like, you know, have some talking points or whatever. And dude, it's just insane. Like there's like a handful of people that skate transitions that just by an extension of their body, and like you're like maybe CJ, you could say, you know, like maybe Poitier or something, some of the big park skaters, but like you, I mean, are so squarely in that. But like you, to me, almost look more comfortable in a way that you're actually truly enjoying each minute of it. Like you, and I told you that when we kind of reunited at Ramping Camp year before last or whatever. But like you make skating look like fun. Like you're enjoying it while doing huge, amazing tricks. So kudos to that. Kudos to you on that.
Thank you. I do always enjoy skating. I love it, and I love big ramps. I don't know. It's like if you see me on like a 3-foot high quarter, I will not do anything. If there's like a foot high ledge, I cannot do anything. I suck at all of that stuff. But put me on a big ramp, and I am having the time of my life, and I feel like I'm in my element.
You can see the energy, and I love it. All right, dude, the fronty topsoul.
Fronty topsoul.
Oh,
I saw it was Jesus or Gabriel Rivera.
Right.
He was trying to disaster topsoul, I believe, or maybe soul. There was like a couple guys that just started getting into it. And it was another one of those things where in the back of my mind, I was like, that lines up really well just to like front flip to grind over it. I can kind of go to the deck first and work my way over. So I just had this idea, and it was another thing where I like talked to a friend about it, and they were like, well, what are you doing? Go try it. So it was just another one of those things. I was really stoked that it worked out as well as it did. Wish I could have locked the topsoul a little better, but my foot just kind of fell off. Yeah, it kind of kicked out there. It's all good. I can't be too hard on myself about that kind of stuff. But yeah, it just lined up really well. I feel like ultra comfortable with front flips. Yeah, it's sometimes a trick just kind of calls to you, and you're just like, I got this. And as long as you follow through with that commitment, then it'll work out a lot of times.
Yeah. I think that's the biggest part of a lot of this game is actually committing to what you think you can do, or committing to what you're trying to do. It's like anytime you go halfway, anytime you do that like half measure, like it's gonna end worse than it otherwise would have usually.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, you really just got to throw it 100%. be fully confident. But that comes with time, of course.
Totally. I think that's part of it too. It's like, hey, how do I I think a lot of it, man, I preach on here. It's like, yeah, every now and then a light bulb is going to come on. Every now and then someone's going to give you a piece of advice that like, whoa, changes the way you perceive something, which is great. But a lot of it is just going out and sweating and getting in the reps and learning what works and what doesn't for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not a fun answer, but to me, I don't know how you feel personally, but like that's what I found to be most true is like, it's just getting reps in time on the skates.
I'm really big on the importance of like solo sessions. Because when you're skating with people constantly, you just never get that time alone with yourself and your skates and figuring stuff out, learning, getting back to the basics. And that really is like the most important thing to keep dialing in. A lot of people are kind of like social skaters, but if you're trying to like be the best skater you can be, like, yeah, you got to spend the time alone.
Yeah. Just dialing it in, just quietly sort of honing your craft.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And whatever works best for me. It was, I think, Woodward that really like brought me to the next level, just having ramps like that around a skate. Obviously this place too. You gotta skate something that you love to skate, that's like fun to skate.
That's what I love about your skating, man. Is like I said it before, but like you can tell you found what you love to do. You found your style and type of skating, big ramps, big flips and spins and super, dude. Your 540 alley top horn on the, is it the A-frame? What do you guys call it there at the?
Yeah, the A-frame.
A-frame, yeah, dude. Your 540. I think it was in the ramping camp video.
Yep. The Brandon.
Dude, oh my God. I'm just fanboying right now, but like, dude, the 540 kind and the 540 alley top horn, dude, they're so good. Oh,
thank you. Those have been coming to me lately. There was a time in my life where I didn't think I'd be able to spin trick because I'm so tall and lanky. But I still have trouble from flat onto rails and stuff. But on a ramp, I got it pretty well now, where I feel really comfortable spinning into it.
Yeah.
Just kind of works out at some point. I don't know. I didn't do them for a long time.
Right. It's pretty epic too. I can't play the music, but the way that this edit or way that the music is lined up with the finisher here, your 540 AOTP.
Yeah.
It's just epic. The whole thing is just epic.
Yeah. Check that out on the Faction YouTube page.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, yeah, good point, man. Thank you for saying that. I have your Instagram links down below in the description. I have Faction.
Awesome.
The Faction website, and then I will throw their YouTube channel. I don't have their YouTube channel on there right now, but I'll throw it in after we get done.
Well, if anyone's inclined enough, it's not hard to find.
That's true. Yeah, just type in Faction Skate on YouTube and you will find it very quickly. Okay, where was I going? I was going to talk about this. Dude, so Mike, I didn't even realize this until Mike mentioned it, because I told him, hey, I'm going to be talking to Eric, and he's like, oh yeah, ask him about his working with Jaron Grobe and like doing this. So is this with Disney, or where was this at? Let's talk about it.
It's through All Wheel Sports, who has been doing like extreme action sports shows for many years now. And I'm trying to remember how I got in touch with them. I mean, just being like a flipper, they're always kind of looking for more of that stuff.
Right.
But yeah, I remember reaching out to them, sending them, a promo video and all that. I originally thought I was going to do, they used to have like a fly box set up with quarter pipes and whatnot, a pretty standard show. And they've been doing that for years, but this one they had built these floats because it was like 150th anniversary of Cedar Point. So they had this whole rollerblade float that you're looking at now, which was pretty sketchy to skate in person. Nothing was what it should be, and it was just really quick transitions. But we did more dancing than we did skating, really. But it was nice because it was that one show a night. We'd do 45 minutes of the float, where like every 15 minutes we'd go into a dance routine. and then we just kind of skate around the thing while I was moving and just trying to get the crowd hyped up.
Okay.
And then from there it would let us all out at the stage, and then there was like some stage routines that we would do. We were in the finale where they would set up kickers and we would just blast them to flat on the stage, do some flips. I don't think I have any video of the stage, unfortunately. I might have to get that.
Yeah.
But just an incredible experience. It was my first show experience, and shows are really hard, man. It's hard being locked in the same area for an entire summer, and then you have like this thing that you have to be at every day. Like we didn't have a day off, so we're just kind of locked in, and each day it was just like, here we go again. What do we do beforehand? But I really would like to do more shows in the future. Obviously, my skating is, I think, kind of meant for it.
Yeah.
And I think if I, kind of know what to expect, I can use my time better. But I had such a good time working with everyone. It was Jaron Grobe, Jimmy Hake, Coco, Vince Caderna, who is actually like a pro scooter, but they made him rollerblade because they didn't want to have a scooter on the float for some reason.
And he just laced him up and got after it.
Yeah, I mean he knew the basics of blading, but by the end of the summer he was skating it. Oh yeah, and Hunter Grimm, of course.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was a solid small team, but we all got along pretty well. Jaron's the man, though. I love him. He's so funny.
Yeah, dude. I've never officially met him, but I saw him when we were at the Carriers Open.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And just seems like really amazing energy.
Oh yeah, he's just always goofing around. I swear, he doesn't take anything serious, but in the best way.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta love it, man. You gotta love it. There was one other thing I want to talk about. Oh, it's this, dude. Okay, so I was just mesmerized by a lot of this footage. Is this in San Diego?
What's that? Oh, yes.
This looks like you are at home, dude. Just living your best life, dude.
I want to go back there so bad. I spent probably about a month there with my friend Vince, who I did the shows with, the scooter guy.
Right.
But I was staying at his house, and we were there pretty much every day for 3 weeks or so. So it was just like incredible training. I was trying to get myself ready for Winter Clash and Bitter Cold and all these upcoming comps. I hadn't really been skating over winter, but yeah, that place there's like nothing like it. It's so hard to find mega ramps. It's so hard to find big ramps. Yeah, like highly recommended. If anyone goes to San Diego, look up. It's like a YMCA skater cross. It's terrifying though. I was gonna say
it looks absolutely terrifying.
Yeah, most people would probably poop themselves on those first couple jumps.
Yeah, I saw like some of the comments, and it was like, dude, the only thing I'm mad about is how the ramps look half the size on camera.
Yeah.
Like the person knew how massive they are like everything else, like we've been saying. But
of course, yeah. Yeah, it doesn't do it justice, but it's still like the most fun you can ever have, at least for me.
Right. Yeah, you look like you were just having a complete blast, dude.
Ooh, I miss it.
Switching gears a little bit here. So you are, correct me if I'm wrong, sponsored by Wish, yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm on the Wish team.
Yeah, so let's talk about Wish. Like, how long have you been with Wish? And then, like, what originally, I guess it's two different questions, but, like, and then what originally got you so interested into the frame, in those frames?
Trying to remember when the first one I got. I think it was from Cameron Card. He had it turned out to be a prototype Wish frame. It was one of Wake Shepman's old ones that he had just kind of, like, left at the house. But, yeah, I instantly fell in love with the power of them. I loved everything about it. Just fit my skate really well. I feel like my boot's like a size 12, 11 and a half, 12. So it's like it was the first frame that made my skate look like a normal skate.
Right.
And yeah, I kind of fell in love with it. Wish was like the first company that I actually kind of reached out to, like, hey, I really love your product. I'd love to be on your team, yada yada. I don't think I heard anything back from them at first, but I mean that's kind of normal. And I didn't really hear anything back from them until I went to skate in Portland, and it was like freezing cold, and I ended up snapping both of my Wish frames like in half.
Ooh, like right down the H block, or?
Yeah, because it was a prototype material, so it was fine until it's really cold, and then it was just like brittle. So I remember like I posted some stories about it, just thought it was kind of crazy and funny or whatever, and then Wish kind of reached out to me like trying to figure out what the hell happened, and so we were able to deduce that those were prototypes, and so they offered to send me another pair, and from there my relationship kind of grew with Cletus, the owner of Wish, and he's just, I don't know, like he's a guy that I just feel really like in tune with. Same with Clark of Faction, but like I think it's really important that you feel, like you're a part of the team, like you feel like you belong, because there are so many products out there. But I don't know, I just felt really like in tune with Cletus. I loved his product. I'm skating the mediums now. I'm trying to kind of get used to them because I started doing some street skating again, and street skating on the larges is rather difficult to go out all day on big frames like that.
Help a lay person like me kind of understand like what the challenge is with like the classics versus the medium for street skating, like you're saying.
Okay, yeah, the larges, or the classics, they have a larger wheelbase, so it's 72 millimeter on the outside and 60 millimeter on the inside, and they're also a little bit taller than most frames. So they tend, especially on the Faction boot, the carbon boot, they tend to bend a whole lot because you're farther away from the boot.
Sure.
So there's a lot of bend. It's great on ramps, but yeah, like on street it does get tough. But the weight of the wheels, just the weight of the overall frame is very tough when you have to jump from flat. I'm a pansy when it comes to jumping, honestly. Like I love stair rails. I love I just hate handicaps. I hate jumping.
Oh, dude.
I like
you and me both, dude. That's why we're best friends. I knew there was a reason. Yeah, I hate jumping high. I'm like, man, like, yeah, like stair rails, dude. I'm like, okay, if I just skate a little bit faster, I don't have to jump as high. Sick.
Yo, absolutely. That's me 100%.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I switched over to the mediums because Shredpool had mediums come with his skates, so I'm testing those out now. I'm still not like 100% because they are more of a normal frame, and the I don't know, everything's a little different. The backslide plate or the groove is, on the larges, it's like 4-finger wide, just a massive groove, and the mediums are more normal.
Right.
But yeah, I'm still getting it. I've only been skating them for a couple weeks now.
Yeah, kind of recalibrating everything.
Yeah,
I got you.
But I really love Wish. I love what they're doing. Just like I feel very honored to be a part of their company because I don't know, they're very unique, I feel, in the skating world.
Totally. Dude, you don't happen to have your setup there with you, do you?
They're on my feet right now.
Oh, they're on your feet.
Yeah.
Can we talk a little bit about your setup?
Yeah, totally.
That's funny, dude. That's so sick. You have them on there right now. I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, I figured I'd roll around a little today.
Yeah. So you said which medium? We got the Faction. What do we got going on? Let me see them feet, dog.
Let's see. 1 sec. Let me set up my thing. So here's my current setup. Don't know if you can see them, but they are the Shredpool boots. I really like the Shredpools. I don't know why. I think they just felt a little little tighter, a little stiffer. Let's see. I got stock liners on them. These were from the white skates. I normally skate Intuitions, but I'm trying to get used to the stock liners, just because that's what my skate will have, an upgraded version of the stock liner. But still, I'm just trying to get away from the Intuition. I want to skate stuff that's all Faction.
Sure.
And then of course the wish frames that I was talking to you about, and I dremeled the heck out of these sidewalls. If anyone has mediums, I think it helps a lot to take down the sidewalls a little bit. But that's another story. What's up?
Okay. I was going to ask you to clarify a little bit. When you say dremeled the sidewalls down, what's the reason? What's the reason?
If you look, like now it's very like smooth, but if you look at normal medium frames, like it pops out like all the way, like pretty far. There's a nice chunky like tooth sticking out there. And when you carve really hard, especially fakie, that plastic will touch the ground and it will throw you down without real quick. So that happened to me a couple times when I was skating mediums before, and I just kind of went back to larges. But I'm giving them a proper chance now. I dremeled them down, and I don't have any of those problems catching anymore. I just highly recommend that to anyone who is skating the mediums or wants to skate them, especially if you're carving ramps and stuff. Yeah, I can. Anyways, let's see. I got the new sole plates on.
The old stealth. Are those black?
Yeah, they're black.
How do the people get black ones? I know there's been like people that are like, how do I get the stealths in different colors?
Yeah. They
I just have to be on the team, right? You
just have to be on the team. It's that easy. Clark's been trying to dial in the right material for the sole plate for a while, so he's been kind of using me as a test subject. Yep. And I've kind of gotten each one along the way because I don't know. I feel like I'm the only one on the team who is really pushing for this type of sole plate, because I love the Rossi's Royale, the Salomon, where your foot's kind of turned forward a little bit. For anyone who doesn't know, it's like that's like the lock, which is it's not a whole lot compared to like a normal frame, where a normal sole plate would be like this, and you just turn your foot, but it just puts you in like a nice, oh shit, here we go.
We're going for the ride, hooray.
Whee! I don't know, I really love them. I really love the way the boot looks on them. How you get black ones, you'll just have to wait a little bit longer, because we're certainly going to be releasing different colors, white and black, in the future.
Yeah, cool, man. I like the new sole plate, man. I got mine actually right here. I think aesthetically, I think it is very pleasing for sure. And I did notice, the Backslide Groove, like, I think maybe I was just forcing it to trying to do groove tricks, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not using your groove, I'm gonna make my own. I didn't realize that until, you know what I mean?
That's all right.
I need to go back. I've been fighting a hip injury, so I need to go back and actually allow the Backslide Groove to do what it's supposed to do, I guess. But I love the sole plates, man.
It is a lot of hip action. You kind of turn your hips when you're doing it. So I do see how that could be an issue.
What was I going to say? So Faction, man. Okay, actually, did we wrap up? We wrapped. Okay, actually, hold on. So Shredpool, did you join the Faction team right after Shredpool?
I might have been. I think I was the last one, actually. Because
were you?
That's kind of how. I believe that's kind of how Clark wanted to do like the pro skates, was in order of like who signed up first and whatnot. He's been really good about like staying true to that.
My question was totally unrelated to that. No, it actually was completely related to that. So you're gonna be basically the last one to I mean, if everything shakes out like Clark is, planning, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, last one, but it's coming up quickly. Like
I'm saying he's moving fast, dude.
He's moving fast.
Holy cow.
He's got Cameron's boot pretty much hammered out now. We have, the colors for Jimmy's boot. My boot is, I think I'm allowed to say this, but I'll have a plastic boot, which is really exciting. They're working on an all new plastic boot, creating brand new molds, the whole shebang that nobody else wants to do. But yeah, right now he's still in, like, he just bought this crazy 3D printer, so he's trying to just get everything dialed in before he goes through and buys all those molds. But he just wants that perfect boot. But I feel really honored, of course, to have a plastic boot with them, and they know I'm dying for one, because I love skating the big ramps, and carbon boots on vert ramps and mega ramps and stuff are very difficult.
Right.
So they're trying to get that done as quick as possible. I've been kind of slowing the process because I can't figure out my colorway, but I think I'm finally there. I did a lot of work with Clark while I was there with him in Maryland.
If you can't answer this, well, if you can't answer anything I ask, just tell me to F off. But are you going to be the first one with a plastic boot? Is that the plan?
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
word.
That's the plan.
Okay.
I think he'll be doing like a generic color too, like a solid black or solid color boot. That's kind of like the generic plastic, but yeah, I'll have the opening of the plastic boot.
Yeah,
I'm so thrilled, man. I can't wait to skate a plastic boot again.
Yeah, that's gonna be sick. What were you on right just before Faction? Did I see like M12s or something, or what did I see?
Yeah, I was skating. There were Volos.
Volos, word.
But basically M12s, the same boot. But I absolutely love those. That was the first plastic boot that I felt really like fit my toes, my foot. I kind of have a thinner foot, so it worked out for me. But yeah, I'm in love with that boot. Before that, I was skating Shadows for a while, and it back in 2018, I think it was, or maybe 2019, I went to Fees. I went to France and did Fees, and that's when I learned that I couldn't skate Shadows anymore.
on like big transitions.
Those were big ramps, and I was just like, oh my god, my buckles are popping, like, every time. So it's just that in the back of your mind, you're like, you just can't have that in a 60-second run. You can't be thinking about your skates blowing up.
That's the last thing. Yeah.
But
it's crazy how that little Shadows. Like, if you don't have full confidence in your equipment, like, that can just create such a devastating, like, mental cloud,
especially in comps, because it's just like it just starts going downhill. You're like, should I do that? Is that, oh no. Like,
right.
Then you just end up doing front sides and rails.
Yeah, bro. Speaking of comps, man, I mean, this is sort of just a quick and crazy one, but this is bonkers. Your Misty 9 over the Bowl to Free at Kona. Powwow back in 2020. Was this like the one that never happened? What do they call it?
Yeah, that was the blackout powwow that never happened.
This is
just bonkers. A wild comp. You weren't there, were you, Ben?
No, I was in San Antonio.
Okay. Yeah, it was I mean, none of us were expecting it. It was like right as COVID was becoming a thing, and they the stay at home ordinance was just being talked about. So we weren't supposed to have that competition at all. And at one point we all kind of came together, and the owner of the park basically told everyone, like, hey, we're going to let this happen, but like nobody posts anything. No stories, no nothing. So I think everyone did a pretty good job of that. I don't remember seeing anything from it, but yeah, it's the comp that never happened.
Yeah,
and that was that was the best trick competition that I did that one.
How did that go? Did you win?
I did.
What?
I was
You
really
did?
excited.
Fuck yeah, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, with I won the best trick competition.
Right.
I got smoked in the actual one.
Oh, whatever, man.
But yeah, Kona's like an old stomping ground for me. I remember back in the day seeing Chris Morocco and all these crazy dudes just busting big old flat spins and 900s over that gap. So that gap's always been something, special to me, a bit of a dream. And yeah, I did a Misty over it, I think, first. And if I can Misty it, I can Misty 3 or Misty 9, whatever, whichever one it is. It's just an extra turn.
Right.
But yeah, I went out. I landed that second try. I think we had 3 tries in the competition, so that was like my final try, and it won to the dismay of some others, because you never want a flip winning a blading competition.
That's
a lot of people don't want that.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. So the title of this stream before I changed it. Oh wait, I guess it still says it on there, but it's like I had it as like something controversial or whatever. Like, hey, is this rollerblading's most misunderstood skater? So I wanted to actually bring that up. I'm glad you brought that up, that point, because there does seem to be this like divide between like your style of skating, which is very big flips. It's clear that you have a history of gymnastics and diving, like you said before. I mean, like it's clear, you can see it. It's wonderful. But there's like this divide between like, hey, this is traditional aggressive rollerblading, and then this is more your style, which is like largely like very showmanship kind of oriented, big flashy skating. Like, where do you think that divide? I mean, actually, it just seems like there's some people that just either don't like that style of skating or don't appreciate it. Perhaps they don't understand it. Like, where do you think that stems from?
I mean, I think it definitely stems from the core group of skaters back when rollerblading was getting kicked out of the X Games, or however you want to say it. But as we were losing steam in those organized broadcasted events, it's kind of like those were all about flips. Those were all about spins and ramps. And I think the core group of bladers wanted to be anything but that. And I don't know, I feel like pretty much since day one, since I started skating, I kind of learned that like my skating wasn't going to be popular, that I kind of dealt with feeling like kind of like a fool the entire time. Like, it's tough because I've always loved flips, and I think people do love flips, but that used to always be a problem growing up. Always afraid to do too many flips in competitions. There's just always like, you just don't want to look like a clown. You just want to, especially when you're young, you kind of want to like just fit in with everyone else and kind of do what everyone else is doing and do the cool stuff. I don't know. I'm really happy that I didn't just like stop doing them, because I think that's why I am where I am today. That's how I found Faction. Faction's all about finding these skaters that are doing what they love because they love it and skating the way they like it. Like Clark loves that we're all very different. And that's kind of like where I fit in with the flips and stuff. He wanted to have like a big flip skater, and there's not a whole lot of them in the U.S.
Oh yeah, you're like an endangered species, especially in the U.S., like you said.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I was going to say is because, it's really cool to see that you are, I don't know if embracing is the right word, but like just, hey, I'm going to skate the way I want, because back here, like a lot of this skating, your up and comer here section is a lot of much more traditional aggressive skating, right?
For sure.
Like this nasty true fish, dude. God.
Yeah, bringing it back.
Oh,
that might have been the last true fish I did on
ever?
on a street rail. Rail.
Dude, I can't get over it, man. I cannot get over it because you just charged it. You just went up to it like, all right, let's get it.
I was I was hyped for this opportunity. I forget.
Yeah.
I think it was after a comp, but BMAG said they wanted to film something with
Oh,
me.
gotcha.
And so I was full steam. This was, me trying to define myself. But
Right.
yeah, it's like I really wasn't defining myself because I was just trying to do stuff that I thought other people would think was cool, or stuff that was pretty standard in blading. But I think in blading and in anything, like, you should really follow what what comes naturally and what you're good at, and just kind of like take that to the farthest degree, rather than trying to be like a jack of all trades, or I'm a okay grinder because I like had to be, and I worked really hard at it, but the flips always kind of came naturally to me, and the transitions. And I don't know, when I came back to blading, I was like 27 or so, 28. I had taken a break, but I started to see that things were changing. There were quad skaters out there. There were more people doing flips. I had that breakout big Misty flip over the bowl. I don't know if you can find that clip, but
is that on your IG?
It's a little bit buried in there.
Is it? Where
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'll look for it. Misty flip over the bowl. Where's it at again?
It was in God, why can't I can't think of the state. Right above California.
Oh.
What's that state?
Sorry, no, I know. I think I know exactly what you're talking. I do know what you're talking about. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's insane. That's insane.
It's on my Insta somewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was this big Misty flip over a bowl, and everyone was freaking out. I got like, over 200,000 views on it on Facebook. So it was really inspiring for me, to know that people were loving on the flips again, and that there was like a future in that, for me. And so that's kind of what drove me to feel inspired to go out to Fees and try that. I got my butt whooped over there. Naturally, those guys are so good.
They're robots, dude. It's crazy.
It's unreal, but at least I came home with a drive, and I got a job at Woodward right after, so I started working at Woodward, and it's just been kind of progressing ever since. Yeah, big old flip. I just went out with my dad one morning. I think that was at like 8 a.m. Just went to this crazy bowl. Probably took me like 10 tries just jumping over it, before I started flipping it. But I would love to go back.
They talk about gator pits. This is like, I don't know, whatever is way more dangerous than a gator pit. This is terrifying.
Yeah, dinosaur pit. I don't know.
A T-Rex pit.
It'll kill you if you're not careful.
Yeah, there's not much room for error on that one for sure.
No, it was really the run up that was sketchy, because there was just like that little plot that you can see where you're just kind of like, all right, here we go, and then you just jump over a whole bowl. But yeah, wearing shadows too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I'd do that today.
Good God.
But I've been wanting to get back there, of course. I feel like that was such an epic spot, and I'd love to film it better. That was just on like my dad's phone at the time, or whatever.
Dude, you stomped it like such a boss too.
Yeah.
Like just casual roll away, fake zero, royale, whatever. Like,
yeah, man. Those big ramps, you have so much time to adjust. I love it, man. But yeah, that trick right there really kind of just the overall reaction that I got from it was very inspiring for me, and it really kind of amplified me to get back into it. So I'm definitely kind of a late bloomer in skating, and I'm a much older pro skater than most people are, but I feel good.
Again?
I'm 33.
Yeah, we're the same age. That's right. Yeah.
Are we really?
Yeah, we are.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't feel like it. That's what's important.
Yeah. I did want to talk a little bit about, like, because you skate at a high level, you go hard, and like you mentioned at the beginning of this that you like you're just like, a lot of people stay in the sport, like you're driven by learning new things, trying new things, accomplishing new things. Well, that often comes with risk and risk of injury, etc. So like, what is your mindset? What is your approach to skating at a high level, like mitigating injury or mitigating recovery, etc.? Like, how do you manage to skate at such a high level for such a long time?
I mean, it sounds cliche, but I mean, it really comes down to my pads, my armor that I wear when I'm skating. Without that, I'm sure I would have been done a long time ago. But I'm kind of always searching for new and better ways. I've always been a huge fan of like hip pads, butt pads. That's like my number one thing. My most recent, well, it's been like a couple years now, but I started wearing like these guys over my pants, where it's like a knee shin combo.
Who makes are those or who makes those?
They're from, it's called Fuse.
Yeah.
X Fuse. It's a motocross biking company, but I was just looking around for anything. I mean, there's a lot more R&D in those kinds of fields. But yeah, I found these and they've been working out really well for me. I need to get a new pair, and I want to find something maybe I can wear underpants for filming street stuff and whatnot.
Sure.
But yeah, mitigating pain and the damage that you build up just doing normal tricks. I've never understood why people are so resistant to doing that, to wanting to do that. Wearing a helmet, like why not? They're comfortable. I don't know, and I just kind of have pads for every part of my body if I end up hurting my wrist or my elbow or this or that.
Right.
I don't know. Like I used to get really like in my head about that, being the only dude wearing a helmet at most competitions I'd go in, and there were times where I'd feel really embarrassed and I'd take my helmet off and skate it, but then I would just kind of feel like, what am I doing? Like I'm holding myself back. Yeah, I don't know. It's just a preference, but I think that goes a long way if you spend time and some money in getting pads that really work for you, and you got to take the time to research them and whatnot.
Right.
But that's the biggest thing, man. That's everything.
Yeah. By the way, if you're cool with it, if we've been going for about an hour now, anyone in chat, if you want to start throwing questions in chat, Eric, if you're cool to answer some questions from chat.
Yeah, totally.
We can cover some of those.
Yeah, I'm looking at some of the comments now.
Yeah.
Always pad up. I never pad up. That's okay, man.
Yeah. I'm slow as I'm getting older. I'm like, each year I'm adding like a new pad, I swear, dude, because I'm like
dude, I have too many friends where it's like, especially guys that are trying to get back into blading that used to blade or whatever, and they'll get back in and no pads. They just start skating rails, and then they get hurt and they're like, I can't do this anymore. I have a family. I can't skate it. And it's like, just wear pads, man. It'll change your life. You can skate. You can have fun. You won't look as cool, but like that's all in your head. You'll look perfectly cool. And if anything, it's like if you have kids, then set an example, man. Like what the hell?
Right.
Jeez, I hate seeing these like 8-year-olds skating without a helmet.
Oh,
you're like, what's going on? Like,
yeah, we were talking about that the other day.
Make this like a normal thing.
You see, dude, it's just like, I don't know. Someone called it like child neglect or something, but like I'll go to the skate park. I'm sure you've seen it too. But like you said, little 8-year-old kids, little 4, 5, whatever-year-old kids will come on a skateboard and they've never been on a skateboard and they're not wearing one pad. Yeah. And they're trying to go down the ramps. I'm like, stop.
No.
Not but dude, let's before we get into questions in chat, I did want to like cover just the genesis. Like, how did you and Clark get together on Faction? How did that whole thing start?
It felt kind of like destiny almost. Really weird. It's I think I was at Woodward at the time, and he's a couple hours from Woodward, but I kind of knew of his place, the compound, and I wanted to go see it. And so I just kind of hit him up and went over there. I had no idea about Faction. I had no idea what was going on. But I spent some time with Clark, and and we just talked about it. And at that time, it was just like, it's just an idea, and like so many people have ideas, so many people want to start things. So he was just kind of telling me about all this, and I could like sense his passion. And I really felt like something special from him. And even though like after that point, it took another year or so before like the prototypes were available, but I was all in. And I'm really happy that I didn't, stray away or try to get another sponsor or anything like that. 'Cause I just feel like, there's no other company that I actually fit. Faction is just kind of like that outlier that, takes everybody else that isn't cool enough for these other skate companies or whatever, that don't fit the mold. But I mean, that's kind of what I love about them. And I think people are appreciating that, because not everybody can be cool in rollerblading. Not all of us want to be cool.
I'm the ambassador of uncool rollerbladers, so I know where you're coming from.
Yeah.
No, that's exactly kind of like one, I bought the Faction skates and I've really, really enjoyed them. But two, it's like, dude, just exactly what you're saying, where it's like, it's kind of like a fun, quirky, not quirky, but like a unique team that you guys have with like very unique styles, and it's like refreshing in a way. It's really cool.
Absolutely. Yeah, and Clark, he wanted that. He wanted all people that had different styles, that had different, views on what skating is. Like, he absolutely loves the uniqueness of everybody, where, as we know, so many brands are like, we want everyone to look the same. We want everyone doing the same tricks, and it just gets so boring. But yeah, that's why I feel very lucky. And I just literally ran into Clark and kind of talked to him, and I guess he kind of had me in his radar before that, because he was looking for that big park skater. And yeah, it just worked out, and it's been incredible ever since. Like, I can't think of a better, company, better boss. Like, they've just taken such good care of me, and I've never had anything like this. So I feel so happy to be a part of them.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. And we're all looking forward to your plastic hard shell pro skate.
That's
coming
right.
out. Right. Can you give us a rough timeline?
Hopefully we'll have some prototypes by the end of this year, and maybe for sale like early next year.
Yeah.
Hopefully like before summer or whatever, so people can have all their skates for their hot summer skating.
Sick. Okay, Zach Smith says, so you were at the Oklahoma Showdown last year. It was great seeing you there.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any plans or ability to come this year?
Absolutely. Sick. I really want to make it. The Oklahoma Showdown is one of the coolest events, just because they give away skates to kids, or that's really like half the vibe. Zach told me that there's like 50 skates that he's trying to give away this year, and it's like, man, that's what we need more of. Just getting these kids on skates. I love to see people, teaching classes. Like, Cameron's been teaching all these kids how to rollerblade. So you get these kids to come to the skate park. They see this event where there's all these awesome skaters, and then they get a free pair of skates. It's like, man, that's going to be like a lifer right there.
Right.
And we need more of that kind of stuff. But in general, the comp was beautiful. It was incredibly hot. But I'm like,
it was
really
hot. Oh my God. Yeah.
I am so looking forward to going back. Yeah, I threw up everything inside of me for, the finals. I don't think I've ever done that before, but I just had like heat stroke. I just laid in a bush and threw up.
Yeah, no, I remember seeing you after the comp, because for those who don't know, we're watching right now the Oklahoma Showdown video I made from last year. But there was a mini ramp comp. Yeah. There you are right there, big dog. Mini ramp comp, a bowl comp, and then a street comp. And it was all like, dude, it felt like it was 150 degrees outside. And you skated all three, right?
Yeah, I did.
Dude, I skated only the street comp. And I was cramping up, about to like just die. I cannot even wrap my head around skating all three. It's insane.
Yeah, the dry heat, like, it destroys me. I'm not used to it at all. I'm from Florida, so I'm used to a lot of humidity.
Yeah.
But the dry heat just sneaks up on you, and before you know it, you're like, man, I gotta get out of here. I'm about to pass out.
Right, like I'm circling the drain right now. So anyway, that's cool, dude. Super amped to see you there again.
Yeah, I'm stoked.
It's gonna be a good time. The mini ramp's pretty sick.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's no Schmitty's, but it's a nice little public mini ramp for sure.
Dude, it's one of the best public minis I've ever seen. It's super long. You don't get minis that long.
That's true, man. It's like obnoxiously long, like obnoxiously is probably not the right.
In the best way.
Exactly, in the best way. Cool. So that's sick. Kevin Collins says, "Who is Shredpole?"
It's me.
It's him. Oh, okay. We can rest easy. I can finally sleep.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Obviously.
I don't think I can. I mean, I think if you look hard enough, if you really do your research, you'll be able to figure it out. He's kind of hiding in plain sight at this point. Yeah. Like, he's given up. But I think it baffles him that people are still wondering who he is, because he's like, what more do I have to do?
Right,
the
jig is up here.
Yeah, like the clues are there. If you're looking for them, just peek around. You'll find it out. But I don't wanna be the one to destroy what he has going.
I mean, yeah, because I remember at the ramping camp before this last one, I remember he could tell even back then he was kind of like, yeah, whatever, like,
yeah,
fine,
totally.
It is what it is, and it's like it's layers to it's crazy that it doesn't just like that information doesn't disseminate across the community. No.
It's pretty cool in my opinion. He did a really good job, like, keeping it under wraps. I just saw Mike's comment. That's really cute. Why is your dad so awesome? I don't know. I guess because he had like 9 sisters growing up, so he kind of had to do his part. Had to be a pretty cool dude, because that's got to be hard to grow up with.
That'll build character, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Daniel already mentioned earlier, but Eric, any plans to skate fees again or any comps overseas?
Absolutely. I would love to get back to fees again. Definitely want to go with a different mindset. I feel like last time I went, I was like, I want to win and all this, but it's really just such a great time to be out there. And it's really like, it's inspiring, and it's an honor to skate with, Kudo and Wellsmore and just all those guys. So I think I would have a lot of fun if I went back, but I've been thinking about it for a long time and talking with Clark about it. So I think as soon as things are a little more set in stone, Clark's just constantly working on new products right now, but I think he does want to get me out to more fees events, wants to get me on more mega ramps and that kind of stuff. But I love going overseas. I love traveling. I love to see countries that love blading as much as I do, and just to see the random passerbys that are stoked about blading and whatnot. You just don't get that in the U.S., so it's very healthy to like get out and see like, oh yeah, there are places where this is still like a really cool thing.
Yeah. Planning to go to Clash next year?
Yeah, definitely. We'll be at the Clash.
Sick. Well, I will be seeing you there, my friend. I'm very excited.
Oh, yes. That's exciting, man. Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah. So super pumped. My buddy Sam and I are planning on competing in like the AM. There's like an AM division, right? Is there a beginner division? But yeah, we're gonna goof off, try to compete and just and have a good time. So
dude, so rad. You will. It's wild, man. I've never seen a comp like that. Like that many people packed in a building. I had no idea the course would get so slick come competition time.
Oh, really? I guess
everyone breathing and just, the moisture. Wow. Yeah, that was my big takeaway for next year was like, be prepared for the slickness during the comp. But
interesting.
What a competition, man! It's something you have to experience.
Yeah, I can't imagine. I know I've heard, like, I'm just referencing the first thing that comes to mind, but like, I just hear so many people talk about how like it felt like the building was shaking when Joe Atkinson landed that backslide around the big...
yeah.
Dude.
Oh yeah, I think it actually did. Like everything vibrated.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna jam through some more questions. Lee Barwick, do you like rocks? Is this like an inside joke?
I think so, because I was doing some rock hunting in Vermont. Nice. But I mean, I think we can all appreciate rocks if we're willing to look down and admit it to ourselves. But rocks are pretty cool.
Yeah,
all kinds of rocks.
I agree. All right, Daniel. Also, do you have Also, you have so many flips and spins on lock, but is there something you're working on currently?
God, I wouldn't say that I'm like working on something. I've mostly been trying to dial in grinds and switch ups and trying to get back into that, because we're filming for the faction video.
Let's go.
And so I want to get some good street stuff. So I've had my head more wrapped around that kind of aspect. But I would really like to get my flip to grinds back on like quarter pipes. I want to get a Misty. I guess it would be a Misty 1260, which sounds crazy, but it would be a Misty double spin.
Yeah.
I know I got it, but I really just want to find a resi ramp again in my life.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
I miss it so much. Yeah, I got to get back to Woodward.
No doubt.
But yeah, I don't know. I guess it's just been like all grinds, for better or worse. But I just really want to put out like a good section that people will remember and people will want to show other people, and not just like, even the core bladers. I want to do some stuff that actually looks really cool to everybody.
No doubt.
Yeah, so that's where my mind's been at.
Cool. I want to say thank you to Sean Michelson for the $10 super chat. He says, preach air. This was back when you were talking about pads and helmets and stuff.
Yeah.
He says, kill the pad helmet stigma. We got to try to figure out a way to do this shit forever and preserve our bodies. Much love, homie. Keep killing it.
Totally.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And helmet's not gonna, it's not gonna change everything. Obviously, it's just backup in case something really bad happens. But hip pads, knee pads, shin guards, all that stuff. It's a wonderful feeling to fall and not get hurt, to like finish a session and not have bruises.
Oh my God, what a nice feeling.
Pads all the way.
Yeah. It's funny you say that, because there are like some videos, especially where I'm trying like something less, like something very challenging, and I like walk away. I'm like, oh my God, I didn't get hurt this time. And I'm like, oh, because I was wearing my crash pads and I was wearing my wrist guards and stuff. Mike says, for Eric, do you prefer Lunar on Sega CD or PlayStation?
It'd have to be Sega CD. I mean, I seriously doubt the PlayStation version would run as good, but I've only seen it on the Sega CD, and I've hardly played Lunar or Lunar. I've always pronounced it.
Oh, my bad. Did I say it wrong?
Shout out Sega CD. I don't know. It's one of those things. My brother used to always pronounce it Lunar, so that's where I'm at. But yeah, I have been a gamer, long-time video gamer, retro gamer. Right now, that's what I do for work. Is I buy and resell retro video games. So it's in my blood. So
what's your biggest score?
Like, let's see, last year, kind of later last year, I bought a sealed Pokemon Crystal on the Game Boy Color. I think I paid $200 for it, and I resold it for $7,500. So that was a pretty juicy score. I was able to take a little vacation after that.
Yeah, no doubt.
But yeah, that's kind of my thing, is I I find all my stuff online on eBay, grab it up and resell it. I'd like to find something else, but I've just been doing game stuff for so long. I've had flea market stores. I had a brick and mortar store with my brother for a couple years, and that's kind of what kept me away from blading for a long time. But yeah, I love it.
Sick, dude. That's dope. Yeah. And maybe one of the last questions here. Sorry, man, I didn't even ask you beforehand. Like, hey, how much time do you have? We just went into it. So I know you're sitting there at the ramp. You just got back. You probably want to shred the ramp, and I'm standing in your way.
You're fine.
One or two. Jason Coverstone. Eric, should anyone attempt any double front flips or double flips over the box at Schmitty's after both of our accidents?
Well, Jason got off easy. He tried the double front. I tried the double back. I think maybe if Jason was built like me, he probably would have gotten a lot more hurt. But he's built like a tank, so he was able to take it. But yeah, it's a tough box to do doubles over. It's kind of a longer deck than you'd expect. I don't know, something about it, but I tried a double back and I landed like right on the knuckle, like on my knees. It was one of the worst things, and it was like right after an injury, so it just completely re-injured myself. Really dumb, and I have not done a double flip since, so that's something that I really need to get back, because I feel bad that I'm like, there's that voice in the back of my head just like, don't do it.
Yeah, those voices suck. Like,
oh yeah.
I was looking for Jason's double fronty or attempt, but I can't seem to find. I don't know if it's on his thing here. Anyway.
I would imagine he posted it. It was wild though. He did like a 1.5 and just.
Bro, I remember the first time I watched it, like halfway through, like I feel like I started seeing it in slow motion. I'm like,
I love it. I love Jason. He's the man.
I think we're pretty well caught up. Okay, cool, dude. Anything? Okay, well, let me back up. Eric's Instagram, his sponsors, everything is down in the description. I'm going to add Faction's YouTube channel down in there after this. But anything else that we didn't cover that you want to talk about, my man?
I don't know. I mean, I guess future events. I'm going to try to go to all of them that I can. So if anyone has any ideas or things, because I don't always hear about all the events, feel free to reach out and hit me up, because I love competing. I love skating for a crowd. But right now I'm looking at Windy City Riot next weekend. Then after that, there's the Colorado road trip. We got the Frankie comp on the horizon that I'll probably make it out to this time. Just, anywhere I can. I think me and Faction are just trying to make waves and show up to all these things. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, I love to see it, man. You guys are definitely some traveling people all over the place. So I love to see it. I feel like every time I turn around, you're at a different spot out there getting after it. So I love it.
Yeah, that's the spice of life. It's hard because I go from here where I skate like alone all the time, and I just get thrown into these competitions where I'm surrounded by like hundreds of skaters, and it's a lot of mental strain.
Talk about it, bro. Like that is there couldn't be more of a polar contrast. You're on a serene lake with a perfect ramp by yourself, and then you get thrown into like some some different park with hundreds of people, and it's just that's crazy.
Yeah, I'm already a very anxious person, and I have a lot of problems when I go to competitions and whatnot. So if I've ever been off-putting in a competition or whatever, it's only because I'm in over my head, trying to figure out names, trying to figure out who I know, trying to just keep my head together. I get really nervous, like still at every
so basically,
event.
If you were ever just friendly to someone instead of super friendly, is what you're saying.
Yeah. Exactly. I try to do my part to to say hello, though.
No, man, you're great. You're a great ambassador for our sport, big time, man. And it's been a pleasure, my man. Thank you so much. I hope you have a great time at Schmitty's and all the comps you got coming up. And I wish you the best of luck, my friend.
Thanks for having me, Ben. It's been a lot of fun.
All right, brother. I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Love y'all.
Peace.
Later.